Hey, what's going on guys? Just a quick video here. As most of you guys know, I make free-to-play guides, solutions, or whatever you want to call them. Those free-to-play videos for Grand Hero Battle and Bound Hero Battle events. For those players that struggle with these events and fall back to my videos for help, this video might have some use for you. I'm going to give you guys my free-to-play heroes quote-unquote tier list for hero battle events. That way, you guys can train up these heroes and be prepared to use them whenever I upload a free-to-play hero battle video. Before I show you the list, do note the following things. I will not be including the 4 brave heroes Lucina, Ike, Lynn, and Roy. They are technically considered free to play, but I will no longer use them in those videos. Second, I'm ranking these heroes as their 4-star version, not 5 stars, aside from Fjorm for obvious reasons. She is only available as 5 stars. And lastly, since this is a tier list for free to play units for hero battle events, it is based on their unlockable default skill set at 4 stars, and again with the exception of Fjorm. So here's my list. At the very top are whom I would consider as the best free to play units for Grand Hero and Bound Hero battle events. Middle are the okay, decent ones, and the bottom are the ones that I'll probably never use. They may be viable for Lunatic mode, but most likely not for Infernal. The ones at the top are the ones you'll most likely see in my future videos, except for a few of them because I'm missing some of them on my second account. The ones I am missing are Paula, Arvis, and Barst. Whenever I make a video, I try not to use Tempest Trials and Grand Hero Battle units if I don't have to, but sometimes I have no choice. For example, the blue mage slot and somewhat the green mage slot. Ursula and Robin are both Grand Hero Battle units. Even though their map revives several times, there are still a bunch of players that probably have just started playing the game and haven't even got to see their map yet. I have to take that into consideration, especially if you think about it. Those new players are the ones that need help the most on these events since they probably don't have that many units available. But anyways, the skills I look for whenever there's a new free-to-play unit are breaker skills, gem weapons, triangle depth, effective against weapons, brave weapons, buffs, debuffs, and wings of mercy. Basically, they need something in their default skill set that can either help secure one-round KOs or allow them to be able to tank these inflated infernal enemies for many turns. Like in the red category, Laszlo has X-Breaker, Paula, Selena, and Stahl all have a weapon triangle amplifying skill. Then in the other colors, there's Tsubaki, Sully, Arthur, and Narcian. Not only do these heroes have breaker, gem weapons, or triangle depth, they also have very important assists and passive skills. Laszlo has home speed 2, Paula has spur speed and wings of mercy, Stahl has swap and he's a cavalry unit, Selena has threat and speed and reposition, and so on. You get the rest of the idea. For these Infernal Grand Hero Battle maps, you basically are forced to use the weapon triangle mechanic. It's extremely rare to see one of these, let's say, 4-star sword units be able to one-round KO a sword enemy in Infernal mode. It's probably impossible, to be honest. So yeah, that's why gem weapons and breaker skills are very important. Breaker skills gives the unit the potential to one-round KO, while gem weapons and triangle depth are very useful for walling and stalling enemies. As for wings of mercy, it's a very useful skill for drawing a bunch of enemies on one side of the map. In the meantime, your other units get some breathing room to take out some enemies on the opposite side. Then when the unit carrying Wings of Mercy drops too low in health, they can teleport out and rally up the other guys to clear out the rest of the map, which is one of the many reasons why Frederick, Paula, and the Black Knight are top tier. The 3 most important mages to have are Ray, Ursula, and female Robin. All 3 of these units carry a wolf tome, and the reason why wolf tomes are so important is because there's 2 things that makes a Grand Hero Battle map very difficult, at least in regards to a free-to-play guide. It's when there's either a bunch of cavalry enemies or when there's a bunch of tanky armored units. These 3 mages are perfect units to use against those 2 classes. Cavalry units travel the most distance compared to other units, so when there's a bunch of them on the map, it's hard to take them out on time before getting swarmed by the rest of the enemies. The mid-tier heroes, I won't go too much into detail. Most of them are simply just outclassed. Also, for most of them, I would only consider using them for 1 skill. As for the bottom tier heroes, you'll probably never see me use any of these guys for Infernal mode. The ones that have potential are Navarre, Henry, Est, and Maruka. Navarre has a nice default set and his special got a buff as well, but he's just way too weak and fragile. Henry, I thought he would be one of the better free-to-play units, but despite him having a Raven Tome, he deals very low damage to colorless enemies because of his low base attack. He needs Ignis to deal damage and there's no time to charge it up. Plus he only has enough bulk to survive and charge up 1 Ignis. Est has nice offensive stats and she has a heavy spear, but the problem is that she is too fragile. Defense is too low, therefore it's better to just run Oboro, Fjorm, or Ursula to take out armored units. Maruka is another one of those wet noodle fighters, but the reason why she has potential is because of her B slot skill, Lunge. I'm always trying to find a strategy that involves Lunge, but I haven't been successful yet. I almost did it with Drog in the Hawkeye Ninian battle, and I almost found one with Maruka in the Amelia and Tana Bound Hero battle. It's a skill that no one necessarily needs to use because oftentimes it's a better and easier option, but it's something that I like to pull out and try just as a cool factor, I guess. But yeah, that's going to be my free-to-play heroes tier list for Hero Battle events. I just wanted to make this list for those that regularly use my free-to-play videos as guidance. Train up the top tier guys to 4-star level 40 and make sure you unlock and learn all of their default skills. Also make sure that they are neutral IVs, that's very important. All of the units that you get for free from quests, Grand Hero Battles, and Tempest Trials are all neutral IVs. If you sent some of these units home or used them as fodder, then what you can do is the next time you summon one of these heroes, check their IVs, and if you somehow manage to get one with neutral IVs, then you can train it up. I'm sorry I didn't go over every hero on the list, but there's really no reason to. I only wanted to cover the important points. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.